Hello, Sonoma County. Welcome back to our channel, or welcome to our channel if this is the first time you're following along. A question we get asked all the time is, how do I sell my current home and find my new home at the same time? Seems like a lot. How can this all happen at once? What if I get a buyer for my current home and I haven't found the home I want to buy, or I find the home I want to buy, but I don't have a buyer for my current home? So many pieces of the puzzle when we do this. It can happen. We're going to talk about that, but I'm going to talk about 4 ways you can purchase your next home before selling your current home. But first, I'm Julie Sullivan with Sullivan Group Real Estate, and we help people move in and out and all around Sonoma County every year. So if you're thinking of making that move, you've got a home to sell, you have to buy a new home, how can we put this together for you? Reach out, let's chat, let's get a plan in place. Stay tuned for number 4, because I'm going to spend the most time talking about that option. Number 1, a home equity line of credit or an equity home loan. So these types of financing use the equity that you already have in your home. So a HELOC, you've probably heard of them. That's the equity line of credit. You go to the bank, you fill out the forms. They say, okay, you can borrow up to this amount in your current home based on how much equity you've built up in your home. What is your home worth to what you owe? The equity home loan is the same thing, except you decide on the amount up front and you get a lump sum of money. You can take this money from your equity and use it as the down payment for your new home. You know, home equity lines of credit are used for all sorts of things, for home remodels or landscaping, add a pool, all sorts of things like that. But can be a tool that can be used as the down payment for your new home. Now, the one little kind of caveat with this is the debt is going to be counted. The debt on your current home, the loans on your current home are going to be counted in your debt to income ratios for qualifying for the new loan. So we have to look at that and see if that's going to work for you. If you've got a pretty low monthly payment, you've lived in your house a long time, it might not be an issue and it'll be fine. You can count that debt and the new loan and you can still get the financing for your new home. Or maybe you really don't have any other debt outside of your house payment. So we can see if that can be an option for you. But those 2 types of loans, using your equity is definitely an option. The second way we can make this all happen is a cash out refi. So you would actually refinance your current loan, pull cash out, have the one loan. So this way you wouldn't have a home loan and a equity line of credit loan or equity loan payment, and you take that money again and use it as your down payment. Now again, same as the equity loan, you're still using the equity from your house and you still have that debt. And now you've increased the amount of your mortgage. So again, works well if you've got a very low mortgage or you don't have a lot of other debt, and your lender can help see if these options are feasible for you to move on and purchase your new home. The cash out refi is really used a lot, especially if you're going to be keeping your current home as a rental. And we can count that rental income against the home loan there, and that's not all counted as debt. And you can take that money from the equity you've earned from owning that home and purchase your next home, and now you also have an investment property. So another way we can see if that can work using the cash out refi option. Number 3. The third way we can make this happen is with the good old-fashioned contingent sale. We do it all the time. You put your house on the market, we look for a new home. When you find that new home, we do have to write the offer and say it is contingent on the sale of your current home. When a buyer comes along to purchase your home, they know it's contingent on you finding your next home. It works all the time. Now, sometimes though, in a competitive market, it can be a little harder to get your offer accepted when you're contingent on selling a home. If there's other offers on the house at the same time that you want, and they're not contingent, a lot of times the seller is going to go with that offer. It's just one less piece of the puzzle that they have to put together. But we have ways and systems in place to get your offer accepted. And a lot of times the buyers on your end, they're willing to give you that extra time, especially if you're moving out of, say, of your first home. So it's kind of a first-time home buyer home. That's probably who's buying it again. And they're renting, and so they can give you the time to move out of your current home. So it works. We do it all the time. And we just close both properties at the same time. The money from your old home just moves right over to fund the down payment and the closing costs of your new home, and everything happens all at once. We get you a couple weeks after close of escrow so you can move your things out. But the good old contingent sale is still very much in place. It is used all the time, and we can see if that is the best option for you. Option number 4, and we're going to spend a little more time talking about this option. I think it is a brilliant option. It can work in so many different scenarios, but a lot of times it gets a bad rap. But it's the bridge loan. What is a bridge loan? A bridge loan is a type of short short-term financing. Usually it's about a 6-month loan. I always read 6 months to a year. I've never seen anybody do it for a year, but I guess you could if you needed that, but usually about a 6-month loan. And again, it uses the equity in your current home. You do have to have some equity, and it bridges the gap between your sale and your purchase. It pulls your equity. You take that money, you use it as either the down payment or the entire purchase of your new home, and then you can get your house on the market. You have 6 months in general to complete all of the transactions, and you pay off the bridge loan. You roll into a regular long-term loan on the new place, and you move on with your life. Pros and cons of the bridge loan. A few of the pros, or why a bridge loan can work so beautifully in some situations, is A, it's quick access to money. There are some banks that will do them, but these are usually private investors putting up their own funds. It's a way that they invest their money on short-term, quick gain kind of situations. It's kind of a win-win for everybody. So in a lot of situations, you can get this bridge loan money and then basically turn around and you're making a cash offer. They don't know. The seller doesn't care what's going on your other end. It's not contingent on you selling your home. You don't even have to do appraisal and financing sometimes unless you are getting a loan. But quick access to funds, that right house comes along, you can have that money very quickly and move forward with your purchase. There's a lot more flexibility with bridge loans. Like I was talking about with the equity line of credit and the equity home loan, they're going to use that debt against you with your new financing if you're getting financing. So sometimes that can't be an option, whereas a bridge loan does not look at your income to debt ratio. Sometimes they don't even care really about your credit score or other things that could influence a traditional home loan. Again, it's just a private investment situation. They're going to take that money out of your equity, the little lien on your property till it's all sold. They get paid back. Everybody's happy. So what's the downside to a bridge loan? Why do they always kind of have a bad rap? Or people are like, I don't want to do it. They cost too much. They do come as a cost. Okay, somebody is putting up their private funds to make things happen and be more convenient for you, or to get you into that right home. So you are going to have a higher interest rate. Who cares? Honestly, who cares about the interest rate? You're going to have this loan for 6 months, okay? And they do come with some higher fees. There's going to be loan fees and origination fees. I mean, this is how the investor makes money on his money. I mean, if he can find other investments that are going to give that same kind of a return, why would he pull his money out of those and do these? Okay, that's why these investors do these bridge loans. You will have a higher interest rate for those few months that you have the money, and there are some upfront fees. But again, if it's for convenience or gets you into that right home and gets your offer accepted, sometimes it's the means to an end. So I guess the only other con on that would be maybe a little higher risk, because there's that short repayment period. If that kind of stresses you out, that you're like, oh my gosh, can we get this all done in 6 months? That would be the other side of it, I guess. A couple of stories though, where bridge loans have been amazing through the years. I think of this one couple all the time. They had owned their home for, I think it was like 25 years. So they had tons of equity. It was the family home. They were getting older. They wanted to downsize. They had one neighborhood in mind that they wanted to move to. And there was only one floor plan that they wanted, because there was only one model that was single story, and they were getting older. And if they were going to move, they did not want stairs. So, we're kind of like, okay, well, when this house comes on the market, you guys are going to have to be ready to jump. And it wasn't like we could put their house on the market first, because we didn't know how long it was going to take for this home to come on the market. That particular one, lo and behold, one comes on the market. We don't have their house on the market. They're not ready to go on market. They were working away at some project, but we did the bridge loan. They were able to pull out enough equity to pay for that in cash. And remember, they were downsizing. They were buying a considerably smaller home. This home also happened to be in original condition. This neighborhood was not a new neighborhood by any means, so it needed a lot of updating. So they were able to pull out money to purchase the home as a cash sale. Well, it was cash, and extra money for the renovations, and start the construction and the updating when they weren't even living there yet. So that was another bonus to them. And we pushed through a bunch of improvements on their current home. There wasn't a lot, but we did some things, got their house on the market and sold their home. They paid off their bridge loan and moved into their new house that was very close to being done at that point. So that was a huge success, totally worth it to them for the extra cost of the bridge loan and the fees and so on to be able to make all of that happen. We have other clients that are coming up this summer. They're going to be selling their current home and retiring out of the area. And it was, again, we went round and round. How can we make this best work? And I'm pretty sure they're going to go with the bridge loan option as well for a couple reasons. Finding the new place in the new area they're moving to. It's not like they're there all the time. So now they can take their time, find that new home, purchase it with the bridge loan, move into that home. And then we're going to do some updates. We're going to put in some new flooring, some fresh paint, just really clean up their current home, be able to show it all the time. Right now, they've got lots of pets, 2 people in the home, work from home. It was going to be very difficult and just not show as well. And we actually showed them what we think their sales price would be if they sold while they're living in it and not be able to do all of those upgrades, as opposed to moving out, cleaning it up, staging it. It's going to more than pay for the cost of the bridge loan. So it's a very viable option for a lot of folks. So if you're thinking of moving and have to sell and buy, let's look at your individual scenario and all of these different options. There's more out. There's some loan programs that the lenders will actually pretty much buy your home first. You rent back from them and then you can sell. I mean, there's other things out here. These are kind of the 4 main ones, but there's other options as well. Let's sit down, let's talk, let's look at your scenario, find the best way to do this and see if that feels good to you and if it is the right time for you to make this move. I really thank you for watching and I hope you found this beneficial and educational. And if you liked it, please hit the like button and go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell and you'll be notified. We release new videos every week about real estate, Sonoma County real estate, and Sonoma County in general. Hope to see you here again. Bye-bye.